How can you convince us that you are not the protector of the big-scale drug lords? Sorry, but from Chochi Kizo.
May I just tell you, straight, if you're here, whoever he is he a male? Kung
It's hard to
nandito
tell
pa kayo
from
sa
the...
harap ko, I will look at you straight in the eye and I will tell you that's a complete lie. Why should I be a cuddler of this? Sinabi ko na po kanina, ako nga po yung nag-grade sa kanila, ako yung nagpahirap sa kanila, ako yung nag-isolate sa kanila. And then kinasuhan nila ako. And then now, I'm a cuddler. And then, yun, lininis naman po ang bilibid. Hindi pa completely malinis, pero there have been successive operations, galugad, under the former director and the current director. Director Rainier Cruz. Ako po nagsimula na lahat niyan.
And you said something in your privilege speech about not finding something.
Yeah. The shabula, I had to say that kasi madalas po natin
Umiikot yan eh.
Madalas po natin naririnig yan, merong shabulab. Yun nga po ang unang pinahanap ko nung nag-grade kami kasi narinig ko na rin po yan na meron di umano shabulab mismo sa loob. So we had to look for it in that first major raid and in the successive raids until now. Nakailan na hong raid under the Operation Galugad. Wala naman pong nahahanap na shabulab. Because you know, it's unless each and every soul in that penitentiary are in cahoots with each other, hindi naman ho basta-basta matatago yung shabulab na aamoy syempre yan. So there is no such thing. Kasi, anong naging problema sa bilibid? Because these drug convicts were controlling the drug trade from within. They need not manufacture those drugs from within. If they have to manufacture those drugs, it would be in volumes. You know, anong nangyayari? May ilan-ilan na nakakapasok ng mga sachet-sachet, you know, dahil sa pakikipagkuntsaba sa mga prison guards, na madali naman kasi silang mga nabibili, nababribe. You know, nakakapasok ilan-ilan for the personal use of drug inmates who are drug addicts, also are users within. Pero to say na nanggagaling ang droga sa loob at yun ang binibenta sa labas, minamanufacture pa, they don't need that kasi nga dati nang may mga drugs sa labas. Di ba yung sinasabi ng Pangulo na these drugs come from somewhere else?
From somewhere else.
From another country. Kaya nga ini-insist niya, wala daw drug lord, wala daw big time drug lord, na hindi pa ako masyadong nag-a-agree doon. Depende ho siguro sa perspective. Kung sino ba ang big time. I'd like to think they have. I think they have the stomach. And then, but are they willing? Is another question.
Have you
They can
discussed?
do it. I mean, in fact, to be honest about it, yung the fact na may mga nag-express ng reservations about the Senate inquiry for various reasons, like allegedly being premature, and then yung sinabi ko nga na it might dampen the resolve and the spirit of the law enforcers, yung momentum nila masisira, o kaya yung, puro lang naman allegation, may proof na ba kayo? That's why it's called a Senate inquiry. It's not a court of law na kailangan first may complaint. Kasi meron din unang nagsasabi, wala pa daw mga complaints. Although meron na sa CHR, unti-unti na may mga nagpa-file. Nung una halos wala. Now, so, they're setting forth, they're putting forth various reasons not to proceed with the Senate inquiry. I'm just talking about a handful of senators. I'd like to believe that the majority of the senators would want the Senate inquiry to push through, because you know it's the matter is so important. We have to really scrutinize everything. I mean, what's happening really in the war against drugs? Why are there so many killings?
Ma'am, have you discussed this with the Senate President? Have you sat down and actually discussed the issue? Is he supporting you on your resolution?
I like to believe he is supportive of the resolution.
Okay. Something you said earlier, ngayon ko lang naintindihan talaga ng, yung consequence. No? You said earlier that Coco Pimentel had actually spoken to the President about his plan to name you Justice Committee Chair. So the President knew.
Yes.
So ganun, ano?
Yes.
Which, if I'm reading between the lines correctly, gives you the courage to say na the demolition job is not actually going all the way to the President. Kasi parang alam naman niya na ikaw may magiging committee chair. Tama ba yung basa ka ba, Senator?
Yes. Kung meron man na ginagawa ang Pangulo, yes, balik ako sa sinabi ko po kanina na baka nga meron lang mga nagbibigay sa kanya ng mga maling impormasyon. Na maybe there are personalities around him na feeding him the wrong information, and also because ang impression kasi siguro ng ilan sa kanila, especially those who really do not personally know me, yung mga hindi mga fellow bedans. Although Secretary Aguirre is also the President, fellow bedan.
Yeah.
In their minds, I think I'm the enemy of the President, that I'm pain in the ass of this administration. In their minds. And therefore, parang ang nasa nila is they're doing a favor to the President, that they're putting me down.
How would you describe yourself, ma'am, in relation to the President? Are you in the pain in the neck, or?
No, I'm not. Kasi kung alam lang sana ng karamihan na marami naman po sa mga plano ng Pangulo na suportado ko. Dito lang kami nagkakainitan, quote-unquote, dito sa mga issues na ito. Death penalty, summary killings, and hindi ko pa nga na-articulate masyado yung tungkol sa lowering of the age of criminal responsibility. But all other plans of this administration, gusto ko po naman. The peace talks, of course, the FOI, and then no to ENDO. Although, hindi naman yung complete end of ENDO. It has to be gradual. There's got to be clear standards. And then, yung anti-illegal mining, especially black sand mining. In fact, I recently filed a bill prohibiting black sand mining. And yung sa anti-human trafficking, and then sa whistleblowers protection, yung witness protection, and no demolition without relocation, anti-red tape measures. Marami akong gusto dun sa mga plano niya, sa mga sinasabi niya. That's why I support him sa mga bagay na yon. So simply because I disagree
on these
three issues, kalaban na ako. Yung siguro kasi nasa mind ng mga nakapaligid sa kanya eh. And I hope the President realizes that.
Maybe one last question na lang about the privilege speech, Senator, and then we can go to other legislation that you're preparing. A question from Weng. Senator, do you think that, and I think this is the crux of your...
It's precisely the crux.
Do you think the Filipinos have become apathetic to the killings?
Yeah, to a great extent. That's why we need to do something at this point. And not wait until, kasi sinasabi ko ang national sociopathy. And then, hindi pwede na wala na lang. It would have irreversible effect on the psychology, particularly of the young people, of the children. Growing under an atmosphere for environment, that it's okay to kill, that it's okay to see dump dead bodies in whatever corner. So mali po yun.